Hello, happy Wednesday. Here we are getting it queued up here to go live on Instagram. There we go. We should be live everywhere. How is everybody? I feel like I have like lipstick on my teeth or something. Sorry, guys. Anyway, happy Wednesday. We are back here to chat all things crochet related. We are going to be doing some chatting about some spring projects / Mother's Day projects, and just some ideas for this time of year that we really love. Mother's Day is coming up, so if you celebrate Mother's Day with your mother or with your kids or something else, it's going to be here sooner than later. And yeah, we got to start getting some ideas together, right? Even if it's not for somebody else, but you want to make it for yourself or maybe for a best friend or something, that all works as well too. And so we're going to walk through just a couple ideas today and yeah, chat through it all. So hi and welcome. Great to have you guys all here. Whether you're watching live here on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, we are so happy to have you here. Just a reminder, if you're watching on Instagram, that's why I look over here, that's where my phone is, you will not be able to see the links that we have. You'll have to see those over on, on Facebook or YouTube, but it will be in the description box there so you can go back and grab those links later if you want to. Hi, Julia. It's great to have you here today, and Cindy and Lindsay. It is so wonderful to have you. There's so many people over here on Instagram as well. So say hello if you'd like to, and we'll just start chatting. So it is going to be a little informal today. It is going to be kind of a chat-oriented type of a day, just because kind of the original plan fell through for today, but we're making it work. We're going to make it wonderful. We are so, so excited to have you all here. Hi, Dawn from South Dakota. And Cheryl is here, and Jeanette from Tennessee. It is so great. And hi over on Instagram, Dezoza Padilla. Sorry, Instagram names are so hard for me. I try, but I know I'm not getting it right. So if you're saying hi on Instagram, go ahead or put your real name afterwards so that I can shout you out, because the usernames are not always easy. Anyway, so today what I wanted to share with you is that you can make for mom, for yourself, for anything. And so we have two different styles of tulips that I'm going to be talking to you about today, plus some other ideas of what you could do for spring, for Mother's Day, for just any kind of gifting that you might want to do, whether it's birthday or things like that. We're going to throw in a couple links along the way for some other designers and what they've made, like some shawls that there's out there, some washcloth type things. Hi, Evelyn from Mississippi. It is so wonderful to have you joining us today. Hi, Impressions by Tay Crochet from Tennessee. Happy to have you. But we're going to walk through making this today. We're actually going to kind of go through each of the steps. When we're done with the live today, we're going to put the full directions in the description so you can follow along and you will have it for later. The difference between these two flowers is this one is done in hawthorn fingering and this one is done in our animation yarn. And so you can see the differences in the weight of the yarn. I also did the stems a little differently. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I have them here in this mini terracotta pot, but I'm going to show you some other things that you might be able to do with the flowers as well if you go ahead and make these. Yes, Julia, it is great because these flowers do not die. You can take them down from spring when you go into fall. You can leave them up for summer if you want. Now, they are supposed to be tulips. Hopefully you guys can see that they're tulips. So you may want to take them down after spring, but you could look into making other flowers that you could keep up all the time, or take them down for spring, bring them back for the next spring. And, you know, you can just not throw them, but place them into a nice little box to keep your decorations. Where do you get the stand for clover hooks? I think, are you talking about this stand up here? Let me know for sure. This stand is actually our hook caddy that you can get over on the crochet.com website. We can also put it in the chat over here on Facebook and YouTube, but this you can get over on crochet.com. These are our dots hooks. minus the one that I'm currently using. But these are the hook caddy that you can get, and you can put any hooks in there. They've got the silicone insert, so you can put that in. You can easily clean it and everything else. So that's what this is. Hopefully that's what you're talking about. If not, just let me know, and I'll try my best to answer it. Hi, Melody from Atlanta, New York. It is great to have you here as well today. Hi to everybody. Okay, so let's start by getting our materials together. Oh my goodness, hi from Sweden. It is so amazing to have you here. Kara is watching from Michigan. Hello. That's it, the caddy. Okay, yeah, so that is called the Dots Hook Caddy. Well, actually, it's just called the Hook Caddy, but you can get it as a set with the hooks and the caddy if you want the dots hooks, which we absolutely love. It's got a little triangular thumb rest on the back. We love it. I use it for not only hooks, but for writing pens and pencils for note taking. That is awesome. Yeah, put it beside like your couch, your favorite sitting chair, wherever you work on stuff. You can put in a pair of scissors. You could put in a darning needle, some stitch markers. You could kind of put everything in there if you don't want to have your full set of hooks in it. And you could just keep it by wherever you're working on. Okay, so we're going to start out here. We're going to talk about this tulip right there. And I'm going to pull it out here. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart. Okay. So as you can see, there's a piece of wire here that makes the stem, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then you have the top part of the tulip. And so for this one, I used our animation yarn, which I think is absolutely wonderful. It's a DK weight, 100% cotton. It comes in these really great packs like this. And what I love about this is that you will have a couple different color options that you could do the pink, you could do the purple, you could even bring in some of these other neutrally colors. You've got one of the green in here to be able to use for your stem if you want to. We also have some other packs that you could grab. Sorry, that was the Flora and Fauna set. This one here is called Oceanscapes, and as you can see, we've got a lot more blues and greens in this one. So this yarn was designed or thought up of to make amigurumi. So you'd have little pieces or little yardage amounts to be able to make the different parts for the amigurumi that you wanted to make. And so we did the floral and fauna for kind of your woodsy type floral type things. This one is the Oceanscapes. This one is made for like fish and underwater, but some really great colors if you want to do like a yellowy gold for the center of your flower. You've got some more green options for doing stems, and you've got a bunch of blue options in here as well. And then we have a third option, which is our primary colors. And so this is very rainbow, plus you've got the white, the brown, the gray, and the black to be able to make things. That's what we really wanted to make sure, so that you had everything. For this one, I'm using, sorry, this side, the purple here from the primary pack, and the stem is actually our Dishie yarn. So I use Dishie. So now the animation is a DK weight, Dishie is a worsted weight, but they're so close together. They really go well, and you can make them work. So we'll talk about the stem in a little bit. Let's see. I love the sweaters and cardigan behind you. This cardigan, oh, now I am totally blanking. Nope, that was the Dishie yarn. Okay, Janice will put the link in here because now I'm totally blanking on what flower this is named after. So yeah, let me know. Because we just talked about it and I just totally forgot. Dandelion, thank you. The dandelion cardigan. You can go ahead and find this. This one is done in our palette yarn. And then we also have this, which is our cobbler cardigan. This was from our a la mode collection. It's also really fabulous. This one is done in our hawthorn fingering. So some different options that you can do there. Okay. So we'll get those links in for you, but back to our flower. So what you're going to do is you're going to make the top part here, and then you're going to add your stem on and put it over some wire. Let me pull this other one out here. So the difference here is this one is done in animation, which is a DK. This one is done in hawthorn fingering, which is a fingering weight. And what I did here is I actually took some stroll tonal and I just wrapped it around the wire instead of doing a knitted I-cord. So that's the difference between the two. You can see the different sizes. You can put them together. You could bundle them together. Now I left an end here because I wanted to put mine into the floral foam so that they would stay up and everything. But you could cover the whole stem if you want to put a little bow on it. You could put a bow here, make a couple of them, and make it a bouquet. And then you might want to have it fully covered along here. I was also saying you could do something like this where it's just a small individual pot here and you just stick it right inside. You might want to make it a little bit longer if you're doing this, but when I originally did it, I was putting it into that small terracotta pot. But you could just do this. You could have a couple simple single buds kind of thing sitting out as well. So these are really, really easy to make. You need just a few supplies to be able to do it. And although I really do recommend using that animation yarn because of all the colors you're going to get and the amount you're going to get, I just want to show you, you really don't use that much of the yarn. So this is an unopened skein of animation. This is the skein that I used, and you can see like it's a little bit smaller, but really I didn't use that much yarn. I didn't actually calculate the like total yardage and things, but I can for when we put it in the description box. But yeah, so either way is totally fine. It depends on what size you want to do. I also love this, that you could put it, glue it like onto a picture frame or something, have a nice picture for whomever you're making it for, and then kind of glue these on too. Hot glue is definitely your friend when it comes to projects like these. Hi, Elaine. Happy to have you joining us today. Okay, so let's start talking about this. So since this one does use this I-cord stem, I used an I-cord mill or you know, a little hand crank machine, which we're bringing to the site very soon. So you'll be able to do it too if you don't have one. Or you could just crochet or knit an I-cord, but that's what I use to make the stem portion of this flower. So to make this flower, you're going to start out with the yarn color of your choice and the yarn of your choice. Do you have patterns for the tulip leaves? These do not have leaves on it. We could totally work on getting some leaves to put on here too, if you're interested in that. But this one we just didn't because of the way we were doing it and, you know, the thought of just sticking it in here. But you could totally do a leaf with this as well. So what you're going to need for this is your animation yarn, which I just showed you. You're going to need your hooks. For this set or for this project, I used my Brights hooks, which this is the expanded Brights hooks. So you have all of these different sizes that are in here, which is more than our original Bright hook set was here. And then each set comes in this nice little package. So there's 3 of these inside the box. Yes, 2 of them are missing because they're sitting on my table over here because that's what I used for this project. So you can grab your Brights hooks. You can also use your Dots hooks if you've got those available as well. Anything is going to work, but you're going to want your hooks. So you'll need your hooks, you'll need your yarn. You're going to need a little package of the fiber fill. We do sell these in small 3-ounce bags. I think they're 3-ounce bags, and then larger bags. You could get those from our website, or you can pick them up wherever. You're going to need some hot glue or some kind of glue to hold things in place. And then you're going to need some kind of vessel to put them in. Now, if you're getting something like this, you don't really need anything else. You just need this vessel. If you're going to go with something like this, I have the little stones inside here. And then if you can see maybe a little bit here, I've got the floral foam stuck inside there so you can put the wire in. And then you're also going to need wire. So I grab my wire from Home Depot. This is a 16 gauge galvanized steel that you can get. It comes in these big rolls. I use it for a lot of other projects. If you don't want to get a roll this big, we are going to be bringing in this wire for some other projects we have coming up that'll be on our site soon. Or you can head to like Michael's, Joann's, and just get a crafting wire, but you're going to want to get at least a 16 gauge because that's going to help hold its shape. Okay, so to do this project, you're just going to start by making a circle, and we're going to work out 3 rounds of the circle, and then you're just going to work single crochets the rest of the way, and it's super that simple. So I figured what we could do is, while we're chatting and talking about maybe your best Mother's Day gift, your best birthday gift, or maybe your worst, or what you like to give or get, I'm going to walk through it right here with you. We're going to chat through each of the steps. I'm going to use the animation yarn again in my purple. I'm going to use my Brights hooks, the 3.75 millimeter. I found this one worked really good for the animation yarn. And when I did the Hawthorn, I used a 2.5 millimeter hook for that one. So again, you can kind of use whatever you want. What you need to make sure is that it's not super holey, so that when you put the stuffing in, it doesn't all fall out. Another trick with this one is we're going to start with a magic ring. And normally for a magic ring, you'd go over like that. So you'd have 2 strands. You're going under the first strand, picking up the second strand. I'm actually going to do like a double magic ring. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my yarn a little bit longer, and I'm actually going to have 3 loops on my fingers here. And the reason I'm doing that is it's going to allow me to pull it much tighter so that I only get a teeny tiny hole at the bottom, almost completely closed, of my flower. So you're going to do the same thing, that you're still going to go under. You're going to go under the first 2. You're going to grab that third one and pull it to the front, just like that. And then you're going to pinch it, and you're going to, I stick my finger right here through the loop, and you're going to make a chain, and that's going to just hold everything in place. And so what you're going to do is you're then going to do 6 single crochets into that ring. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have 6. Now, the trick to cinching this up is normally you would just take, so here's my working yarn. Normally you would take your tail and just pull it, but that's not going to work because you're only going to tighten one of the 2 rings. So I can see I'm tightening this one. So I'm going to stop, and I'm going to pull that ring until the second ring cinches closed. And now I'm going to pull my tail. No, this isn't a mystery project. We are making one of these tulips here so that you can use as a spring decoration, as a gift. I know for us, Teacher Appreciation Week is coming up in about 2 weeks. This would be really great for Teacher Appreciation too. It's really great for Mother's Day, or just a little, I'm thinking of you type of gift as well. Okay, so once we get our 6 double crochet, we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch that we made. Now this one to me is the hardest one to get, just because it's so tight. Ooh, it's so tight in there. So you're going to slip stitch into that first chain that you made. You're going to chain 1. You're going to work 2 single crochets all the way around. Now, again, I'm talking about this casually. We're kind of going through it quickly as we work and chat. We will have the full description of how to do this in the description box on YouTube when we're done here, or, in a little bit, sometime today, that you'll be able to check out. Yes, Karen, I know about keeping everything on. I was having a hard time getting a second camera set up today, so we're just making it work. But I'm thinking we're going to get a little tutorial. I'll do another version of this where it actually is on camera, the whole thing, and then we can post that too, to be able to show you exactly what we're doing. So sorry that it's not going to all be on camera the whole time, but this was actually not planned for today. So we're working through it as best as we can, and just going by the seat of our pants here, but showing something really great. Okay, so once we have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I now have 12 single crochets all the way around. And now we need to work our next round. So what we're going to do is, do you do yarn? If you mean, do we sell the yarn? Yes, this is the crochet.com yarn. It is the animation yarn. We threw some links over on on Facebook and YouTube. But if you're watching on Instagram, you can go ahead and search on crochet.com for animation, and you will find the 3 different color packs that we have. I am using the purple. of the primary colors if you want to follow along. So you're going to slip stitch into that first stitch and you're going to chain one. Now, we need to make the next round and to do, so we single crochet, or excuse me, we did 2 single crochets in every stitch around to double our stitch count. Now we're going to do a single crochet in the first stitch and we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next. And then we'll do a single crochet in the next stitch and 2 single crochets in the next. So you're going to increase every second stitch all the way around. And so that's going to take us from 12 stitches to 18 on this next round. So you're just going to keep working that all the way around. Hi, Samantha. It is great to have you here today. I am doing well, trying to make all of this work and share with you guys something fun. I know I love to decorate for spring, and I'm always trying to think of some little things that I can just put out that are handmade, that aren't too big, that don't take a ton of time. These are also great if you do that's okay that you can't stay. Hopefully you'll be able to catch that replay then. But these would also be really great too if you're doing a market, that you could go ahead and make these, either selling them in like a little bundle, like a bouquet type of thing, or throw them into a pot of some sort as well. Okay, so we went all the way around. We did 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 2 single crochet in the next, repeating that around, giving us 18 total stitches. When we get back to the beginning, we are going to slip stitch again into that first stitch. And when you do that, I really like to pull on my working yarn and tighten it down so that I don't get confused by that slip stitch the next round, because we are not working into that. So now you're going to chain one again. And this round, we want to spread out our increases. So we're going to do a single crochet in the first 2 stitches. And then we're going to do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. And so what that's going to do is that's going to stagger out our increases just a little bit. So we're doing a single crochet, and then 2 single crochets in the next. And in case you're just joining, we are going to write this all down and put it in the description after this. I have my notes. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to get it written up into a form that we could put in there, but we definitely will. Hi, from Edmonton, Alberta. I bet is it still cold up there? I don't even know. I know we're starting to warm up. We're finally getting spring. All of our tulips are blooming around here. So this is even more exciting because we have our tulips. Sorry, I had to relook here. I'm doing 2 when you talk and try to work at the same time. Sometimes that doesn't work out. Do I love the dots hooks? Do I ever? They are my favorite go-to hooks. I mean, I still like the Brights hooks. I'm still using those. Don't get me wrong. Hold on one second. I missed a stitch in here. I do still love the Brights hooks because it comes in that big expanded pack and everything. But dots hooks are probably my favorite. I just love how long they are. I love the little triangle thumb pad on the back is really great for me, and the way I hold my hooks. I am a knife holder, so I love it. Although I do have designer friends that are pencil holders, and they say they love them just as much. So it really is great because of the grip on the back of it. It does allow it to be a perfect fit for both pencil and knife holds. Oh, thank you. These are great ideas. And I love getting to do it and sharing with you guys and everything else. These are really awesome projects. Even just thinking of you projects, or, whatever else it might be. Yes, dots are awesome. Sweet Crochet is here. She is a fabulous designer. She uses our stuff all the time, and so she loves them. Cindy is saying the dots hooks are definitely my favorite, comfortable and durable. Yes. Okay, so once we make it around, we're going to slip stitch again into that first stitch. We're going to chain one. This is our last increase round. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet in the first 3 stitches, and then we're going to go do 2 single crochet in the 4th stitch. So again, we're going to keep adding that increase. We're staggering it out. So now we have 3 and then 2 increases in the 4th stitch. Oh yes, my background. Well, that's because of work, and when I have to show yarn and talk about it, I need to kind of have some supplies. But so the funny thing about it, or I always think the funny thing about it is I really only have like one ball of colors. And so anything that I would want to do from the yarn that's behind me is all going to be stripy stuff. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big stripe person. I try really hard. I am going to be working on a sweater that has some stripes in it, and everything else. But yeah, so it's really kind of just for show because of this and being able to share with you guys. Or if somebody has a question, I can just reach around and grab one of the balls. Thanks, Samantha. I love getting to be here with everybody, especially, you know, these days too. Like, it's so much fun to get to join with everybody. Okay, so there's a question over here on Instagram about what color. Are you talking about the tulip that we're working on? Or are you referring to something else for what color? Let me know what you're asking about, and I can definitely answer that. Okay, so once we get done with that 5th round that we were on, that we did a single crochet in the first 3 stitches, two single crochet in the next stitch, and then repeating that around, we're going to slip stitch, and now we're just going to start working up the body of the tulip, no more increases. Okay, so what am I wearing? It's called the Radiate Motif sweater. Hold on. Radiate Motif pullover. We'll throw a link in there for you guys so that you have it. There it is. The original was done in Alpaca Cloud, DK. This is actually done in High Desert that we did, just to kind of show the difference. I absolutely love this one. I'll stand up here. So it's got these great motifs. Then your arms are solid. It just seams there across the side. It's got a little solid section here. And depending on the size, if you're kind of like an in-between size from adding one full motif, it's going to add a little bit of a panel between the side as well. So the color of the tulip comes from our animation primary colors pack. And this is the purple color here. It's called Mulberry. And that is the color that I'm using today, but you could go ahead and use whatever color you want. Okay, so I slip stitched, I chained one. Now I'm just going to single crochet around and around and around. And I'm going to do that for 5 rows, which I don't know that I'm going to do all 5 rows because I know we're getting close here on our time, and you all have to go places and be places, and I've got to go places and be places. But let me see if I can get a couple rows in here. I'll show you how to finish it. And then since everybody seems to really be loving this, I promise that we will get something up somewhere on social, on, I don't know, somewhere to kind of show exactly on. Yeah. So how many of you think you're gonna make one of these? I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. I've wanted to make like a little bouquet of them for a long time, and so here we go. We're starting our bouquet. I do love the idea of changing up the weight of yarn that you're using, because when you saw in the beginning, hold on, let me finish this stitch so I can join here. When you saw in the beginning, I had the 2 different sizes, and you can see the different size here. Let me put it over here more just to the gray. The 2 different sizes here, just by using the same pattern and a different yarn weight, really makes a difference. And it really allows you to kind of do a lot of different things with it and use them in different ways. And again, I think they look beautiful as a bouquet, that you could do 5 or 6 of them or whatnot, and put them together with a little ribbon or a chain or something like that. You could also glue them to a picture frame, which would be really cute. You could stick them in a little flower pot, which would be really cute. There's just so many different things that you could do with these little tulips. And there's so many different patterns for flowers in general online with crochet that you could go ahead and do an entire bouquet of flowers that you would be able to give away. Okay, let me try to get one more round here. I'm almost done with this one. Let me get one more round, and I just want to show you guys A yarn shawl. Yeah, we could definitely talk about doing a shawl sometime and doing a tutorial. We'd have to look into that. Um, Okay, so Shelly, the pattern is not available yet. We're going to post it here in the description when we're done with the video. So it'll be up sometime today that you'll be able to check it out and be able to make it yourself. So we'll put that all in here. I love the animation yarn. This is from Kathleen. Yay! For amigurumi, and I can't wait to make this tulip. The deer ate the ones in my yard. No, that is so, so sad. I know tulips are not deer resistant, like some plants are. And so, yes, they will get eaten. I love one of my favorite flowers are lilies. And so I have some of the tiger lilies in my yard, and the stinking bunnies like to eat them off before they have had a chance to get big enough to bloom. And I get so mad. I'm going to have to try to figure out maybe like a cage system or something to put around it so that they stop doing that, because it is so, so frustrating. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll get the pattern up. So let me just finish this round, and we're going to pretend like I got the last 3 rounds done here, which is okay, because what I'm going to do is I will take pictures of this as well. So then when you are done, you're going to go ahead and snip off the end of your yarn, and you're going to leave kind of a long tail, and you're going to pull it through. So you have your long tail, and then we'd pretend like this is taller, but that's okay. You're going to go ahead and stuff this lightly. I'm going to say that again, lightly. Do not fill it completely, or you're going to run into problems. So I'm going to put just a little stuffing in here. You do not need a lot. I mean, I guess unless you really want to stuff it. At this point, when you have your little cup with the stuffing inside, this is where you're going to take your wire that you cut, and you're going to stick it through that hole right here in the center where your magic loop kind of came through. And this is also where you're going to use a little bit of hot glue to hold that wire in place. Then you're going to put a tapestry needle on your yarn, and you're going to pinch it straight across. So you're kind of making like a little taco, stuffing that stuffing in there, and you're going to go across the top just like that. So I'm going through the 2 stitches and I'm pulling tight, and I'm just going to repeat that path maybe 2 or 3 times to hold that in place. And then I'm going to turn it the other way, again, making sure my stuffing is in. This is why you don't want too much stuffing, because it will come out. And I'm going to pinch it the other way. So now I have a taco this way. Here's the trick. When you find your center, I'm going under this stitch here. I want to go under that bridge that I made the first time and go directly across and through a stitch. So I go bridge from the first time and through the last stitch and pull through. And again, I'm just going to do that same path 2 or 3 times. It's kind of up to you how visible you want it to be. The more times you go through, the more you're going to kind of see, well, it's a little hard here. You're going to see that little like bump there in the middle. And you're just going to make sure that your stuffing is pushed down. Now, I know there's a controversy about knots. I'm going to put a teeny tiny knot in here just to make sure that it stays in place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and just stick it right down close to where I was sewing from and pull it out the other side. And then I can snip that off. And you've got, well, now I've got a cool little other flower. I don't know what this is called, but we're going to go with it. And it's beautiful. And you're just going to snip that off. And now you have the tip of your flower, and you would have your stem sticking out. In this case, I just hot glued a little bit of some stroll fingering, wrapped it around, putting a little extra glue along the way so it stayed in place, a little glue at the bottom, a little glue right here at the top, and then wrapped it. For this one, I made an I cord, and I just slid this on to my wire just like this. And then I used the end and sewed it directly to the top of my tulip. And then I just finished off the end. I put some glue here as well so that it would stay in place. And then you can just stick it right here into your little pot. Or if you want to use a little terracotta pot, put some floral foam inside, and then you can poke your wire right in. And then put some kind of topping on it. These are just some rocks. You could do some Spanish moss. You could do a little crocheted circle to kind of do it. You can put in as many as you like. You could add a leaf if you want. It might be a little harder with wrapping instead of the I-cord to attach it. But those are some really great ways that you can go ahead and make one of these tulips. So we'll get this written up. We'll get it in the description box so that you guys have it. We'll try to get some photo tutorials in there to show you guys as well. But this is a really great gift idea, whether it's for Mother's Day, for spring decorations, for birthdays, for teacher appreciation, which is coming up. All of these are really great options of how to use your tulips. So I hope you guys will give them a try. We'll get this out there for you so you guys can follow along with all the directions. And we will see you next week. No, we might not see you next week. We are headed off to H&H, which is a conference for fiber arts. And so we'll try to go live there if we can, but if not, we will see you in 2 weeks back here again. So thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye everyone.